kind of the echoing of what the defensive players have said is with Joe Rossi coming back is the reason they're back here. With Rossi having a more open role, because I don't believe this year he's tied to a position room. So Martia says he liked that Coach Rossi has been able to move around a lot during practice today and kind of be everywhere and kind of have that loud voice instead of having to focus in on a position group. Rossi said that was part of the plan for this year, is to have Rossi kind of move around and be more vocal around where, Max Bulla is going to be, with the linebackers a lot more. Joe Rossi can, be the eyes and ears over the rest of the defense throughout practice and kind of have more say. So it sounds like Martinez and then Jordan Hall, who we'll talk about next, have a lot of respect for Joe Rossi. Jordan Hall said like that was, a big reason why he stayed. It was because Rossi was going to be retained, and that if he were to leave, he didn't really want to change systems that he was in, which is understandable. Being, your senior year, you don't want to have to learn something new, especially if you're trying to make the NFL. You don't want to kind of be fish out of water for this big moment. Another thing Jordan Hall really talked about, and Lindsey Huddleton, who got the first question on everyone, but he's a great guy. He's a sports psychologist. He was asking like, what did Jordan Hall do during this offseason? And Jordan Hall said that he was mentally, spiritually, he goes, I got to be more free. He goes, I feel more free now. And diving into it, he goes, I don't mean as a football player, as a student, that as a person, spiritually, physically, emotionally, I just feel more free. That there's no moment that really tied him to that revelation. It was just more of, I think, just that's how he wanted to grow as a person and that's what kind of what Jordan Hall was really hammering home, was just, I think being in a better mental spot. And you can kind of understand especially what Jordan Hall has been through these last 4 years at Michigan State, coming in with Mel Tucker, that whole saga, then, Jonathan Smith coming in and your playing time, mixed around. And then last year with all the injuries he had, like that's a lot of baggage to carry on while you're just trying to play football. So for him to feel more free is a great feeling. So we got some comments here. You got the Michigander 1212, who's with the Michigan Wolverines voice of college football community. So we'll be talking to them throughout the season as we get close to, the game. So we're going to hide that picture real quick, though, because we don't need those colors on this screen. And, of course, we'll follow it up with a Go Green from my father, John Elkey, 926. So thank you for your comments. You're watching Michigan State Spartans Live here on the Voice of College Football Network. Just talking about Jordan Hall kind of being in a better space mentally coming into the season. And he also did a little nugget. He said he was saying a lot of like, yeah, with this being my last year. Then he also said, well, with the new 5-5, rules taking place, I don't know what my next year plan is. So he goes, I don't know if, coming back here or, moving on, like that. I haven't thought that through yet. So it's something to kind of keep in the tickler file as the season ends and we see what Jordan Hall's decision will be. I think everyone, of course, would love Jordan Hall to stay in the green and white as long as he pleases.